because when it first started, like for instance, right, you'll see there's like Palestinian Egyptian rappers now, like they're rapping about the issues that are going on in their country, right? And so when hip hop first emerged, outside of it being a party, something that people could just like, do some distraction and party to, there was a
But that
message.
was
There was always a message.
before. You saying before? Okay, before that there was a message.
Well, before, okay, so it goes like this, right?
You got Raekwon and like you got all these like
Yeah, before, but like, so,
KSR9,
yeah, so KRS One, all that, like you
KRS
got
One.
you got the '70s, right? You got hip hop
Yeah,
emerging in the '70s, and when it emerged to be
conscious rappers. That's what we call them.
necessarily just some good fun, good old fun. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Just like party rock. You know what I mean? Like just having a good time. Wasn't positive or negative, just about having a good time. And
house
then
party.
the messages started coming. Like the Sugar Hill Gang came. It's like a jungle sometimes. It made me wonder why I keep from going under. That was the
Pod check.
first conscious record that was created in hip hop for the most part.
Mm,
And then that's when social commentary about what was happening in the neighborhood, right? What was happening in
mm,
the communities. And then you started having your public enemies, your ex clans, who was like Afrocentric. So it was an intention, KRS One, like it was an intention to educate and promote peace and positivity through the music, right? And then that's when the music execs came in with NWA. Now,
mm,
NWA was just talking about what was happening on the West Coast because they were talking about the police brutality, the drugs, because the drug war started out there. You see what I'm saying? In terms of like, that's where the CIA started bringing the drugs in first. And so from that, they had a lot of social commentary too, but they put a lot of degeneracy in the music, which
yeah,
was in
exactly.
many ways reflected of how they were living in those communities. But it wasn't something that anybody was going willing to put on Front Street until the music companies wanted to exploit that. So it wasn't
Mm,
until NWA came out that the music became like super negative, right? And then you
mm,
hear Too Short talking about it, where he wanted to rap positive and the music labels didn't. And so then after Snoop, Dre, NWA, the early 90s,
Tupac, Biggie.
had a Tupac was always on some like conscious music type stuff, but you had Wu-Tang come out, you had Nas come out, you had a lot of these other conscious type artists that would, they may have been talking about certain things that was going on in their
Yeah,
community, but they were
Tribe
like
Called
shining a
Quest.
light on it. Tribe Called Quest, all of that, right?
Yeah.
And then you had Puffy and Biggie come out with materialism, like they just
Mm,
like was all about materialism. So my point is, there was always this like pushback in the music industry when it comes to hip hop of whether people should be making negative music or positive uplifting music or music that would teach you and give you knowledge. Because I'm gonna keep it real with you, the rappers was teaching the
yeah,
youth
yeah.
through the music.
Even Jay-Z. I mean, he was pretty prominent in his music.
Yeah, his first album. You know what I'm saying? He
First
was
album,
going
yeah,
into a lot of even before then, you see him talking about different conscious elements and stuff like that. So it was always there. It literally was teaching people, but that element was always there trying to subvert it. And so now what you have is just like pure degeneracy when
yeah.
there was always pushback. Like me personally, I didn't like I was from Brooklyn, but I never really liked Biggie and Puffy movement like that because
Mm,
I'm in this seventh or eighth grade. The most you could get in the seventh or eighth grade is a summer job. Wasn't nobody making no
mm,
money in the seventh or eighth grade, but unless you was some young dude selling
yeah.
drugs on the block, right? I watched that music, that form of music made young girls start to sell themselves to older men for money to get Chanel, to get Gucci and all these different things, trying to live like Lil Kim, trying to live. And then these girls are teenagers.
Mm,
I've seen young dudes start thugging and wilding in the street to try, like, there was real influence from the community, but the music influenced a lot of bad behavior. You know what I'm saying? For those
mm.
who, so the people who was like on your Wu-Tang, on your Nas's, on your this,
Rock Ken.
they was, it was like, nah, I don't want that commercial radio plays. So I'm just saying there was always like this
Good versus evil
conflict.
type shit.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Enlightenment or empowerment versus,
100%.
degeneracy, and which is always going to be the case, especially when they see
Hmm.
something so influential like music. They're going to weaponize it.